欢迎收听品牌格式化，这是一个关于品牌策略、行销与设计的专业节目，由格博品牌行销顾问团队制作。无论你是行销人还是品牌经理，甚至只是有兴趣想了解品牌的人，这里都是你充电与升级的秘密基地。我是主持人耶达，准备好了吗？一起解锁更多品牌吧。Today, we are honored to have a very special guest with us. Let's welcome our founder and CEO, Richard.
Thank you, Yeda. Thank you. I'm very happy to be here. And yes, I am the founder and CEO of Gerber Brand Consulting. And I've been in Taiwan now for many years, about 25 years actually. So quite a while. Taiwan is my home, I would say.
Yeah. So since you're 5 years old, you came here? Because you look like only 30.
Oh, thank you. Oh, that's a nice compliment. That's a good one. Thank you.
Yeah, it's an honor to have you. I'd like to start at the very beginning. Could you share what inspired you to start your own business and of a leading company?
Sure. So I'm from Canada, and I studied at University of Waterloo. I actually started at the beginning in engineering, and then I changed to economics and political science. After I graduated, I worked for a few years in B2B sales and marketing, both in Toronto and later in Vancouver. And in sales, I found that I always like to have a little bit more independence than a lot of other people.
Yeah.
For example, I never really worked the sort of 9-to-5 type of job that a lot of people did. And I actually liked that sense of responsibility. Now, coming to Taiwan, I wanted at first to just come for a couple years and so on, but I ended up loving Taiwan so much and working with Taiwanese companies. However, I didn't really see a future for myself working in this type of environment, 9-to-5, or in Taiwan, actually more like 9-to-6, 9-to-7.
Yes.
So that's actually why I set up Gerber Brand Consulting. I always wanted to have this kind of direction on my own.
Was there a person, a book, or an experience that had a significant impact on you?
Yeah, actually, there's been actually quite a few people, different books and experiences and so on. But I'll keep it pretty simple. For example, 2 books that I would talk about. One was when I was in university.
Yeah.
I was studying, like I say, political science and economics and so on. And I came across, and this is going to be a little controversial these days, is a book by Ayn Rand. She's a philosopher, and she wrote books and so on. Again, she's a little controversial these days, but she has a book called Atlas Shrugged. And that really made me think about resilience and about how to do things on your own. Looking back now, I think, it's a little hard-edged kind of book, but it really changed my mindset about how you have to have your own goals, how you have to get things done yourself. Another book came years later when I was already in Taiwan.
Yeah.
So at that time, actually, I would say that I was doing some freelancing, marketing, and so on, but I was a little frustrated with it, and I was spinning my wheels a little bit, meaning that I wasn't maybe being as successful as I wanted.
Yeah.
And I started reading this book by Brian Tracy. He's kind of one of those motivational sort of guys. Back in Canada, my boss actually, we had a sales course by Brian Tracy.
Oh.
He does lectures and so on. And what it really did is, the book was called Goals, and he really focuses on how to set your own goals and how you can do anything that you want. A little bit like Tony Robbins, that kind of idea. That really big, tall guy, Tony Robbins?
No.
Okay, I'll share with you later.
Yeah, you can share with me.
But again, it's not the type of book that you read all the time, but it was a good book to get me out of spinning my wheels, out of a rut, and really got me thinking about what I should be doing.
As we know, when you first started your company, maybe you will face some challenges. So what was the biggest challenge you faced, and how did you overcome it? Can you share with us?
Yeah, so when I started Gerber, I actually was pretty confident in my ability to help companies with their marketing, with their sales, and so on, because that was what I was doing before, and I was very interested in it.
Yeah.
However, what I came to realize is that sort of pitching this or selling this kind of service to Taiwanese companies, to Taiwanese Laobans, I had to change my approach.
Yeah.
Kind of a Western approach is that, if you do branding or marketing, you just have to say it and people will see the value in it. What I realized is that to pitch to Taiwanese bosses who have this kind of OEM mindset, you have to change how your value proposition is to them.
Yeah.
So I was a little frustrated because I thought that our service would sell very well. However, I had to sit back and think, what is our value proposition for these Taiwanese B2B companies, and actually adjust how I approached it, how I expressed it to them, and use their own sort of language to do that. And also another thing that I really had to overcome is how to differentiate us from other competitors. Because we have there's a lot of competition. So thinking of our own brand positioning, our own positioning was a key thing.
Yes. So what was the biggest lesson you learned from those experience, like kind of challenging from there?
Yeah, that's a very good question. So what I really learned, and I take it to this day, and I talk to the people at work about this all the time, is always think from the customer's perspective or from your audience perspective. This is not only for our business, but for many parts of life, is you have to think from the customer's point of view. What are they looking for?
Yeah.
This type of thing.
Yeah. So because we know leading a company is not only about setting a direction, but also about uniting people. So in your view, what is the most important quality of a good leader?
I think it's, there's many things you have to do. However, the basic job, I think, of the leader is to set the culture, is to both decide what the culture should be, which is one thing, but then also how to communicate it to the people that you work with, to various stakeholders, what is the culture should be. But then another thing that a lot of people don't get is that it has to be repeating. For example, you can't just say it and then that's it. It has to be repeated over and over again in various things and actions and so on. And that's a hard thing because it's not, after a little while, it's not as exciting to do that anymore, but it's very important to keep doing that.
A little bit like a educated child, like
yes.
children.
yes. So, I mean, it's the same thing, right? I have two children, and, you have to set the expectations. You have to set what the culture will be. Well, we don't call it culture at home. What do we call it? Well, rules or something like that. And then you have to be consistent. Consistency is key. And, for this, I would say another thing I like to use is this framework called UAC. And I learned this from a professor at Jenda when I took my MBA.
Yes.
And UAC, understanding, alignment, and commitment.
Yeah.
So, get everybody to understand the culture, understand it. Alignment by talking about how the different departments can work together for that. And then people will have commitment.
Yeah, we use this concept to our client as well, right?
That's right.
Yes. So is there a story from your leadership journey that best reflects the company culture or value you care most about?
Well, there's a lot. However, one major thing that I hope Gerber and that we try to live and our goal is to be part of Taiwan.
Yeah.
Personally, I feel like I'm part of Taiwan. I've been here for like 25 years.
Yeah.
I have Taiwanese kids. Well, that sounded odd, but I have a couple of Taiwanese children.
Yeah.
And also, our clients a lot of them are Taiwanese companies, and it is my home. So I also we want to help Taiwanese companies so that they can succeed, so that the economy can succeed, so that they can succeed, and so on. And then another thing for that reflects that is that through Gerber, we actually, and I don't think I even told you about this or whatever, but every year we sponsor at the public schools. We sponsor some children for their tuition and their costs and so on. So we spend money every year to pay for some less fortunate kids in the public school, to help support their tuition and all their education costs. And that way we can help, our local community and, maybe some of these children will become workers for us as well.
After 20 years.
After 20 years, yeah. We don't want to break any labor laws or anything like that.
Yeah, I remember you just mentioned about you will go to church to teach some children English as well before.
Right, yeah. I used to do that, yeah.
Yeah, so... Yeah, that's very good. I think I have another question is about trends in such a fast changing industry. How do you stay sensitive to trends or shift in this kind of, we can say, world or branding industry? Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, there's several ways that I have to keep up with it, right? Yeah. One thing is through podcasts. I listen to a lot of different podcasts on a variety of subjects, especially these days with AI and these types of topics. I'm especially interested in this type of technology and how it affects business. Another thing is I talk to a lot of people, so I try to make it a point to have conversations through connections on LinkedIn. Of course, I have a lot of connections and friends through LinkedIn. And anybody listening to this, I encourage them to, feel free to reach out and add me as a connection. I accept almost everyone. So,
so you're a KOL?
Maybe, I'm not sure. I think if you're a KOL, you don't say you're a KOL.
Yeah.
Maybe if you say you're a KOL, you're probably not a KOL.
But, you're very humble.
With a lot to be humble about. But no, so that's another way is by talking. And I find talking to, people with a lot of industry experience, of course, is very important.
Yeah.
But I'm making even more of an effort to try to talk to younger people.
Yes.
Coming out of universities and that, because a lot of this new type of technology and so on is really going to be brought by them.
Yeah. So I think you stayed Taiwan for a while, very long time. So I'm wondering, outside of your busy work schedule, how do you usually relax or reset your mindset? Right.
So, I mean, one thing is I like to read. I like to read various books, obviously. And I also like to do triathlons and endurance sports. So that's something that I've done for quite a few years now, is cycling, biking, running, trying to do that in order to... I find that it helps put structure to my day. It really helps you plan your time and become, sort of disciplined on that. It also gives me a lot of time to think about things. I find that on a long bike ride or a run, there's time to... Sometimes I'll listen to podcasts or just think about, planning stuff. And it's also a very good way to talk to other like-minded people. They say like cycling. I'm part of a good cycling group here in Taiwan called the TSC. It's called the Taipei Slow Cyclists. And there's a lot of people that are other business leaders and a variety of people. And it's very interesting to talk with them, and it's a good way to relax and so on.
So do you join any competition?
Yeah. So I was in the Challenge Taiwan. That's a full Ironman distance a triathlon.
Yeah.
That was in April. So that is 3.8 kilometer swim. Then you bike 180 kilometers, and then you run a marathon.
Yeah.
And then in a couple weeks, there's a bike race around the north part of Taiwan that I'm going to do. And then Kenting is a half Ironman. That's in November in a couple months.
Wow.
Yeah. So
that's impressive.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah. So if you weren't an entrepreneur, what do you think you would be doing now?
Yeah, actually, I had to think about that a little bit because when you
told me
that
7-Eleven.
Yeah, I told you 7-Eleven. I was... and that was kind of a joke, I guess. But I mean, it's not a joke. I mean, 7-Eleven's a good job and everything. But no, I would probably be a ship captain.
Ship captain?
Yeah, ship
so you
captain.
are interested in ship?
Yeah, I
Oh.
was interested in ships. And so growing up, when I was, between the ages of about 5 years old to 16 or so, my family, we lived on a sailboat in the summer. So every summer in Canada, we would live on a sailboat for a couple months.
Whoa.
Going around the Great Lakes and to the ocean, like the Atlantic Ocean and so on.
Yeah.
And I loved ships. I loved sailing and boats and all that kind of thing. And I just loved the big lakers or the big ships that were on the Great Lakes. Huge boats, right? And I loved navigation and all this type of thing. And I can see myself doing that kind of job in the past because, again, you're a leader of the ship.
Yes.
And you have people following you,
Yes.
and I just love that sort of lifestyle. Now, of course, it didn't go that way. So, but that was.
But it's totally different.
It is
from
totally,
right now,
yeah. It's quite different. It's quite different. Yeah.
Yeah. So, could you share your favorite food in Taiwan?
My favorite food.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's a good question. I mean, I love a lot of ones. I can tell you what I'm not a big fan of is
Hot pot.
猪血.
Oh, 猪血.
Yeah, 猪血. Pig blood. Not my favorite.
Pig blood. Okay.
Hot pot. Hot pot is okay. However, my daughter and my wife love hot pot so much, so
Yeah.
I have it a lot. So it's not really my favorite. Noodle min. Noodle min. Do you know what noodle min is?
I know.
Yeah.
You love noodle mian?
Noodle min, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Beef noodles.
Beef noodles.
Right.
So do you like 卤肉饭?
Noodle fan. No. That's really bad. Noodle.
Oh,
No, I'm
really?
just kidding. No, that's okay too. But no,
Okay.
noodle min. Yeah. And they
Oh.
also have like a good competition I don't know if it's every year, but in Taipei to have the best.
Yeah,
noodle fan.
we have a competition every year
Yeah.
for 牛肉面. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Finally, I would like to ask if a young person is preparing to start a business or run a company, what advice will you give them?
Right. So I guess, again, a little bit going back to what I thought about or the challenge that I faced in starting and getting Gerber going and that, I think the best thing to do is to think about the value proposition that they bring. What is it that they will bring that will bring so much value to a customer or to some sort of audience, this type of thing? To think strongly about that, because people might say, talking about noodle min, or they might be like, oh yeah, I'm really good at cooking or something like that. But
Yeah.
you have to think, what type of value is that,
Yeah,
right? And another thing is their positioning.
positioning.
Yeah, positioning. So this is also something, these two ideas, the value proposition and positioning, is what we work with our clients a lot,
Yes.
right? And this is also key for many things, not only starting a business, but your own value proposition. If you are a young person, you should be thinking, what is your positioning? How are you different? How can you differentiate yourself?
Yeah.
And so on. And I think everybody should be thinking about this in many ways.
Yeah. Do you think product is important? Because like us, we are a service industry, kind of like service. Yeah. So do you think product for a company is very important to them? I mean, for the young entrepreneur.
Product, you mean like a physical product versus
Yes.
a service?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, doing a product is very difficult, of course.
Yeah.
They always say hardware is hard. That's kind of a saying in English. Hardware is hard. And so a lot of people focus on software, stuff like that. It depends on what your skills are and so on. There's nothing wrong with focusing on services and so on. Like, for example, there's a lot of research done, or there's a lot of trends that say that younger people prefer to spend their money on services. They prefer to spend their money on experience. Right.
Yeah.
Instead of buying stuff. Like, a lot of young people in North America don't even want to buy a car. And that's like in my generation, because I'm a little bit older than you guys. In my generation, that was your first thing. You wanted to buy a car.
Yes.
As soon as you turn 16, you want a car.
Yes.
And I think a lot of young people don't care. They would rather spend their money on travel or a concert, or to go see Taylor Swift or something like that.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, so thank you for sharing so many valuable experiences and insight with us. That's all the time we have for today. We will see you again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's been a lot of fun.
Bye bye.
Bye.
如果你喜欢这集节目，欢迎追踪品牌格式化，也欢迎到 Instagram、Facebook 贴文下方留言，跟我们说你想听什么内容，让我们一起格式化品牌重新开机。我们下次见。